everyone, I am Hazel Ibutal, your reporter. Today, I will continue to discuss to you about the theories in human resource management. The objective is to discuss the theories in human resource management. The next theory is reinforcement theory. Reinforcement theory is based on Edward Leigh Thorndike's law of effect. Simply looks at the relationship between behavior and its consequences. Edward Leigh Thorndike was an American psychologist who spent nearly his entire career at Teachers College, Columbia University. In addition, reinforcement theory is a theory of motivation. It suggests that consequences shape the behavior. Rewards and punishment are key factors for changing the behavior of any individual. There are 4 methods of controlling the behavior. First is positive reinforcement. Positive reinforcement rewards desirable behavior, such as pay raise or promotion is provided as a reward positive behavior with the intention of increasing the probability that the desired behavior will be repeated. For example, if an employee performs well, that employee may receive a bonus, which reinforces the desire to do his job better because of the positive consequence of doing so. Just like as teachers, we do our best so that we will be rewarded. If we get a high rate in our RPCRF, there will be a big chance that our PBB will be more than 50% of our salary. Second is avoidance. When we say avoidance, it is an attempt to show an employee what the consequences of improper behavior will be. If an employee does not engage in improper behavior, he or she will not experience the consequences. Avoidance also is what we called negative reinforcement. Negative reinforcement refers to introducing negative consequences on failing to perform the desired behavior. So, if individual performs in the desired way, employer removes the negative stimulus. Example, an employee fails to meet their deadline. As a manager, you can instruct them to provide you with daily reports on their progress towards meeting the deadline. The employee will not like to do that, so they are likely to change their behavior so they will always meet the required deadlines. Third is extinction. Extinction is basically ignoring the behavior of a subordinate and not providing either positive or negative reinforcement. Example, during busy period, a manager may decide to provide some positive reinforcement in the form of overtime pay to encourage employees to work extra hours and working during the weekends. When the business finally slows down, the manager will stop approving the overtime pay as a move to dissuade employees from working extra hours and weekends. The behavior will be forgotten after some time because the positive reinforcement is no longer there. Fourth is punishment. Punishment is an attempt to decrease the likelihood of a behavior recurring by applying negative consequences. In addition, punishment also refers to imposing negative consequences or removing positive consequences with a view to preventing employee from repeating undesirable and uncalled for behavior. It can therefore be both positive and negative. For example, getting write-up for being late to work is a punishment that is imposed on late workers to discourage workers from being late. This is the model of reinforcement theory. Positive reinforcement explains that positive behavior followed by positive consequences. So the manager praises the employee. It also explains that the reward to an employee who performs well reinforces his or her desire to perform better because of positive results of doing so. Next is negative reinforcement. So, negative reinforcement explains that positive behavior followed by removal of negative consequences. So the manager stops nagging the employee. Example, strict supervision may be undesirable in any workplace. If employees start performing with high standards, strict supervision and monitoring are removed. So employees can have Saturdays off if they complete their assignment by Friday. It's because working on Saturday is undesirable. Therefore, employees are reinforced to finish their work by Friday to avoid working on Saturdays. Third is extinction. Negative behavior followed by removal of positive consequences. So the manager ignores the behavior. Example, the employer motivates employees to share their queries with HR departments or their seniors via various mediums. So when employees actually start sharing their queries, the HR departments or seniors are non-responsive. So what will happen? So when this non-responsive behavior increases, the employees stop sharing their queries, leading to extension of queries sharing behavior. Lastly is punishment. Negative behavior followed by negative consequences. So the manager demotes the employee. So right, for example, the underperformance or any issues by employees may lead to demotion or suspension in any workplace scenario. So similarly, the employees get transferred to undesired departments or location or any station for their poor performance. So these are some workplace of negative punishments. The reinforcement theory has the following implication for management. First, learning what is acceptable to the organization influences motivated behavior. Second, the managers who are trying to motivate their employees should be sure to tell individuals what they are doing wrong and be careful not to reward all individuals at the same time. Third, the manager must tell individuals what they can do to receive positive reinforcement. Fourth, the managers must be sure to administer the reinforcement as closely as possible to the occurrence of the behavior. Lastly, managers must recognize the failure to reward can also modify behavior. Employees who believe that they can deserve a reward and do not receive it will often become disenchanted with both their manager and company. The last theory is the goal-setting theory. So the goal-setting theory was introduced in 1968 by Edwin Locke in his article Toward a Theory of Task, Motivation, and Incentives. In this article, Locke showed how employees are more motivated by well-defined goals and constructive feedback, and are more likely to accomplish these goals when they are specific and measurable. In addition to setting clear goals, Locke also emphasized the fact that employees work well when they are faced with challenging goals. So the goal-setting theory proposed that intentions to work toward goal are major source of work motivation. So goals, in essence, tell employees what needs to be done and how much effort should be expended. So the managers can set goals for their employees, or employees and managers can develop goals together. So one advantage of employees participating in goal setting is that they may be more likely to work toward a goal they helped develop.
Example, telling some to try hard or do your best is less effective than saying, try to get more than 80% correct or concentrate on beating your best time. Likewise, having a goal that's too easy is not motivating. Hard goals are more motivating than easy ones.
So according to Lack's goal setting theory, there are 5 main principles of setting effective goals. First is clarity. Second, challenge. Third, commitment. Fourth, feedback. And fifth, task complexity. Clarity. Goals must be clear and specific. When employees understand project objectives and deadlines, so there is much less risk for misunderstanding. Challenge. The goals should be sufficiently challenging to keep employees engaged and focused while performing the task needs to reach each goal. So when the goals are too tedious or easy, have a demotivating effect and will therefore result in less achievement satisfaction. Commitment. Employees need to understand and support the goal they are being assigned from the beginning. If employees don't feel committed to the goal, they are less likely to enjoy the process and ultimately achieve the goal. Feedback. It is an important component of the goal-setting theory. Regular feedback should be provided throughout the goals achieving process to ensure tasks stay on track to reach the goal. Lastly, task complexity. Goals should be broken down into smaller goals. Once each smaller goal is reached, a review should be performed to update the employee on the overall progress towards the larger goal. In addition, there are 4 other factors influence the goal's performance relationship. First, the employee must be committed to the goal. Second, the employee must believe that he is capable of performing the task. Third, tasks involved in achieving the goal should be simple, familiar, and independent. Fourth, the goal-setting theory is culture-bound. When we say culture-bound, it is limited by or valid only within a particular culture. If the goal-setting theory is followed, managers need to work with their employees in determining goal objectives in order to provide targets for motivation. Therefore, goal setting and accomplishing goals provide employees with an overall sense of accomplishment, which can boost morale and workplace satisfaction. According to Jim Collins, great vision with great people is irrelevant. Thank you for listening, and God bless us all.